let's continue on with tic-tac-toe now. We left off with the check winner function, and we're going to go now into this while loop and work on the alternating turn. Right. I did want to point out where we left off. I hadn't compiled yet, and so here inside the check winner function, right, on my line 99, where I'm checking for a live game, right, is the game still going on? I coded board, and it's actually game board, right? That's an issue there. And then there's an issue in main as well, because I had turned on this while loop, and this curly bracket is here, but I had commented out this curly bracket. Let's see if we compile now. Yeah, so fixing that took care of those issues. Right. So what we wanted to work on here, right, is we have something now telling us whether or not we have a winner. Right. But we have this code in here of X and O alternating. Right. So let's get rid of these extras here for X and O. Right, and keep the first two, X's first turn and O's first turn. Right, so we came in here and we said, well, we know when the new game starts, it's X's turn. We set current player, then to X. And so we went through and we got a move. We came back and we said, well, let's let player O take a turn. But here in between, we're checking for a winner. Right, so X takes their turn, we check for a winner. Well, if there's a winner, we don't want player O to take a turn, do we? Right, so we now need to think about the order of this. Right? Do we want to check for a winner before we come into the loop? Well, out here it's a brand new game, so I don't think we want to check for a winner for a new game, but yet we have to still get a move and take a turn. Before we have the player actually take the turn, what if we just switch over current player to be O player? Right? So outside the loop, we had set current player to X player. Here, notice the first time, current player is already set. We had to switch players here. This repeats. So see this square equals player turn, right? These actions here, these function calls, they're duplicates of this. So what if we do this now, right? What if we get rid of that? So we said, okay, X takes a turn. Right, because when we came in, we knew that current player was equal to X. Down here, we just switch off to O player. Well, that's only going to work for 2 turns, likely. All right, so let's just go ahead and do a run a cursor here in main. And I don't know, every once in a while the debugger is just not happy. Let's try it again. And still the debugger is not happy. All right, let's see what's going on. Okay, I'll try to run the cursor up here, not inside the while loop. Maybe I've got some logic incorrect there. So while winner equals play a game. And let's go ahead and step into this function. Well, actually, sorry, we won't step into a function, execute next line. So debug, next line. And that was not true. Oh, here. Remember, I changed from winner to, from open to play game. That's why the debugger wouldn't go in there, right? The program finished. So that should be play game. So this is, then we initialize this, so this will be true the first time. Now, should be able to do a run to cursor. Right. And still. All right. Winner is equal to 4. 4 was play game, right, up here. So this should now be true back here in main. Right, so I should just be able to say, right, next line. All right, and now player turn. So if I say next line, right, now we can just go ahead and, well, let's put a 0 in here. Right, and Next line, display game board. All right, let's pop this up. All right, we got our X here. So now let's go ahead and say next line. Okay, winner came back with a 4, so that means, right, we don't have a new game, but we haven't checked that. See, that's an issue, right? Or is it? Sorry, forgot what I was testing. It's not an issue because we changed current player to O player. Now, this is while winner equals play game. Well, that's still true, right? So now we're going to get O's turn if we pop this up. All right, so O says, give me a 1. All right, and now we'll just go ahead and add that to the game board. So next line, we display the game board. All right, there's O, check winner, so next line. Well, that comes back with a 4, right, because we don't have a winner yet. But here's the problem. When we come back around, I've still got hard coding of setting current player to O player, but it's X player's turn. We need then some different logic here. That was the purpose of running through this debugging check. We need different logic, right? I got rid of some of that extra code, but we actually need some logic along the lines of if current player, right, equals X player, then we could say, well, let's set current player to O player, right? So my comment here will be switch players, else, well, current player is not X player, that means that O player was the current player, and we need to switch over to X player. Here. All right, that looks like better logic. Let's see how this runs. All right. Let's go ahead. And we got a 0 here for X. Right now, this should be true if current player is equal to X player. It is. No. Next line, that's true. Next line, we set current player to O player. Next line, right? We're now going to get this as player O, enter a number. So player O enters 1. Right, next line here, we'll update the game board. We'll check for a winner. There was no winner. Well, current player is now equal to O player, so this comes down here and executes this and turns this into X player. Right, now we're going to get X player's move. Well, let's just let X player win. All right, X player is going to choose 3. All right, we'll update the board here. We'll display it. We'll check for a winner. There is no winner. We'll switch players. This will be true, right? We're still in the play game mode. Right, now we're ready for O to have another turn. Well, O is just going to say 4. All right, I'll say next line, right, check for winner, still no winner. We swap out players, we're back to X player now. Right, and so now X player is going to choose 6. So there'll be 3 in a row in that first column. Right. Let's see that game board. All right, game board got updated, winner. So let's call check winner. That returned a 0. Remember, 0 represents X player. We're still going to swap out players here, but now this condition will be false, right? And at this point, our game would be over, right? We don't have anything there to tell the user that yet, but we actually just successfully walked through a game, at least where we had the test condition where we recognized that X was a winner in this first column, right? There are a lot of other ways we could test this program. Right? We could have X or O. We should test it for the different rows, the different columns, the different diagonals to make sure all of those work. At some point, we should test it for a tie game. But we actually have this alternating logic working now for switching players. So out here, okay, so I'm going to say here, Okay, so game has ended. Game ended, right? Winner or tie game. We can say if winner, right, not equal to tie, actually. We can just say if winner equals tie game. And yeah, tie game. If that's the case, we can print out a message. Game over is a tie game, right? Or whatever you want there, just something to indicate, right, that we had a tie game. Else, if we get here then, right, somebody won. So else, we could say, congratulations, player, all right, C, won the game. And now, right, winner contains either a 0 or a 1. To display the character, right, we call that display, our array display character. Use winner as the index, so that gives us an X or an O. All right, and let's try this. Run the cursor. No. Display character, undeclared. Probably because I called it character display. I should have known when autocomplete didn't come up. Oh, that's tie game. I should have known for that one too, not time game. All right, let's build and run. All right, so X is now going to take 0. O is going to take 3. X will take 1. O will take 4, trying to make X win. X will take 2, and all right, there's our board, right? We see that player X is 1, so it's substituted in the right player. And now we have, right, a complete full cycle of one game running. Our next task would be then to handle what happens when the game is over. We displayed the message. We haven't performed this step. Ask players if they wish to play another game, right? Which will then involve our user menu. That will be the subject of the next video. Stay tuned.